And good morning. It's Wednesday, June 28th, 2017. This is the Bitter Knitters podcast. I'm Jacqueline. I'm here with my host, Arthur. Good morning.
Hello.
And Ryan.
Hi.
Keeping it light on this Wednesday morning.
Yes.
And we do our heavier shows on Mondays, and we're hoping that this will be light. You never know with our opinions. Sometimes we get a little heated, but we try to keep it a little lighter and less political. Try. You never know what's going to come out. But the thing I want to talk about the most this morning, I don't know if these guys are as excited by this as me, but I just I saw this news last night, and I had to talk about it. Lindsay Lohan. We all know Lindsay, little, ginger, freckle face, child actress turned into adult mess, has started a lifestyle guru blog.
Okay.
Like Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, or what's her name? Blake Lively had her thing. I don't remember what it was called, but it already failed. I guess she wants to be the next Martha Stewart. Now, I don't know if Lindsay's very crafty or can bake.
She knows how to bake cocaine.
I'm sure she can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Does anybody want a lifestyle like Lindsay? Really?
No.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Would you? It costs $2.99 for the monthly subscription.
Wait.
Would you pay $2.99 to subscribe to her?
Well, no, because all I got to do is get fake tits and do a bunch of coke till my life falls apart. Like, I already know this. I don't need.
And she's very famously a yacht girl, right? One of these actresses that go to the Mediterranean in the summer and quote unquote hang out on these yachts, which means they have sex with these rich guys for the summer.
Yeah, big old hairy, greasy Armenian dudes.
Yeah, or Greek guys or Muslim guys. Whoever's got the money, they don't care.
Nope.
They don't judge you on your color or your religion or your race. So I guess if you got the money, honey. But really, the last thing we really heard about was she was doing she had that failed engagement to that rich Russian guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to give you from the site, she says you can expect this stuff. Personal diaries.
Mm-hmm.
Sex videos, I don't know. Video updates, exclusive personal photos, breaking news. Here's this is what I think of breaking news will be. Breaking news, I still don't have a job. Fashion and beauty tutorials.
Okay.
Shopping guides and behind the scenes content and much, much more. So, this is the thing. Okay, I would never follow a Lindsay Lohan lifestyle plan. That's just step one, because I think she's so mess. She's got it together a bit more. She's not being arrested every day or, drunk driving every day. So at least she's got that going on for her. But I really don't think she's got her life together in any way, shape, or form that I would want to follow.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to follow her in general.
But then I don't want to follow any celebrity. I'm not going to follow Gwyneth Paltrow and her steamed vagina and her stickers that use magnets to balance all your body parts. And this woman's an idiot too.
Yeah, she's fucking ridiculous.
I think these celebrities are trying to find ways to make money, and good for them. You want to have a good job or whatever, fine, good for you. But it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like you said, I don't have interest in following these people.
No.
Yeah, I like gossip. Love gossip. I'll follow celebrity gossip. I love looking at Crazy Days and Nights. They have his blind items, and on July 4th and on New Year's Day he reveals a whole bunch of blind items, which I love, the juiciness of it all. But I'm not gonna try to emulate anybody's lifestyle that's a celebrity.
He was the first one to start talking about Charlie Sheen's thing, remember? The whole coming out thing with Charlie Sheen, and that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, I love if you're into celebrity gossip, definitely check out the blind items on Crazy Days and Nights, because you will see stuff that blows your mind. He has a blind item that he revealed. Just I guess it was the anniversary of his website, and he revealed it. And it was one that's been going on for like 8 or 9 years.
Who?
That he revealed. Did you ever hear about the MV? That was the blind items. The initial was the MV blind item.
Mm-mm.
It was basically talking about how there's a celebrity who has been using a voice double for years and years. And he would give little hints, and people had narrowed it down between our beloved Britney and Jennifer Lopez.
And who was it?
And he revealed Jennifer Lopez, which was my pick. Because I've heard Britney sing. I mean, it's not great all the time, but her voice sounds like her voice when she sings. Yeah. So that's why I always assumed it was Britney, or not Britney. J-Lo, to me, never sounds like how she speaks, so I never knew how that was her voice. But yeah, there was some threats and everything to the voice double, and yeah, you guys should look it up. It's a huge, crazy, like soap opera kind of thing.
That is kind of nuts. So was the MV like label like as like regards to Milli Vanilli then?
Maybe. I never thought about that. That's a good thing.
I was gonna say MV. Jennifer Lopez is JL.
Yeah, it has to be.
No, but he always gives like different initials, right? Yeah. He doesn't necessarily use the same initials. I don't remember why he went with MV, but Milli Vanilli is actually perfect if that was the reason why. And he's an entertainment lawyer supposedly in Los Angeles, so he has all these crazy stories about hanging out with celebrities and stuff.
Well, that should be the fun thing about this whole Lilo fucking blog or whatever is hopefully people with like real dirt on her can, you know, kind of counteract, be like, no, bitch, we know you don't live your life like this. Like, you wake up, smoke a nice pipe of crack, you know, pound back some, I don't know what the hell, whatever.
Adderall. Yeah. She's on the Adderalls.
Oh, no doubt. That's crack cocaine for white women.
Yeah, that's how they stay skinny.
Yeah,
they drink, you know, like a double soy latte frappe. I don't know what that shit's called. I don't go to Starbucks.
Yeah, my name's not Amanda. I'm not a basic white girl. I don't know that shit.
I make fun of anybody I see drinking like something from Starbucks. I don't care who they are. I saw this guy at work. His name is Iqbal.
Yeah,
and he's drinking like an ice cap. I'm like, you're such a basic white bitch. And he's like, what? With a name like Iqbal, you can tell he's not a white lady. So.
Oh no, definitely not.
But yeah, so I mean,
it's just.
I'll look forward to the highlights as she reveals them. I'm sure they'll be on all the gossip sites for me to read.
It's just kind of ridiculous. So, like, when the hell are they gonna? Well, I guess they don't have to realize it because people will blindly fucking follow these stupid celebrities. But it's just crazy. Like, even the Jenners, like how much they've influenced fucking young people. Like every time I leave my house, I see all these fucking Jenner wannabe little fucking 14-year-old girls, and it blows my mind.
I know, and like. This really wasn't one of the things we were going to talk about. We said we weren't going to talk much about the Jenners or the Kardashians. But I'd just like to say this. Yesterday, Chris was going on about how she was devastated by Kim's sex tape and how it hurt the whole family. Bitch, you guys have billions and billions of dollars more than you had before.
Exactly.
It did not hurt your family.
No,
you guys definitely took advantage of that shit.
She leaked it. She paid Ray J to leak that fucking tape.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And by the way, that was the most boring fucking sex tape I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I didn't see that one, but I thought the Paris Hilton one was pretty boring.
Yeah, that one was dumb too.
That was like the most.
My favorite is Tommy Lee and Pam.
Well, of course, he drove a boat with his penis.
Yeah, I love.
Well, I mean, they were into it. She was into it. He was into it. Like watching the Paris. I never watched the Kardashian one. The Paris one. I mean, like she's like so blasé. She might just been like, you know, reading history homework when she's getting it.
Exactly.
You know
who Paris is.
Yeah, like there's one point, I don't know if they're doing anal or it's just doggy style, but she's literally just like on her elbows, just like she's just thinking anything else but what's going on. She does not look like she's even in the room. I don't know what was going on, but I was just like, damn, that's boring. You know the most disturbing celebrity sex tape I ever saw besides China's? Oh. China's was disturbing.
That was a little weird, yeah.
No, the Colin Farrell one.
I loved that one.
No, I couldn't deal with his sexy talk. Did you ever see that one, Arthur?
Hell no. I fucking hate Colin Farrell with a passion.
I do too, but I have to watch a celebrity sex tape if I see one. He's like, I love you, pretty the whole time he's just like, yes, he's like with his Irish accent. What a pretty pussy. I love the pretty pussy. I just like went on like, I'd be like, can you get the fuck away from me? That's
the
too
fucking
much.
Lucky Charm guy, like.
Yeah, like family found his pot of gold. God. And I mean, he was into it. He was enthusiastic, which I guess is nice. But it was just like, shut up.
He wants to see her pretty pussy. Let her.
It was just too long. It was too much. I'd be like, stop talking and put your mouth where it's supposed to be, okay? Jesus.
And on her pretty pussy?
Exactly. Going on about it so long, put your money where your mouth is, literally.
It's true enough, though. Like, other than the Tommy and Pam one, they're all fucking plane wrecks. Like, they're all just disgusting. They make me feel like
Yeah.
a goddamn porn star, though. So keep on keeping on, celebrities.
Well, maybe one of us will have a sex tape release now that we're becoming famous.
Famous,
Ooh.
exactly. Is
I
that,
put my money on Ryan.
well, yeah,
He's probably already leaked it.
I probably have. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably already out there. I'm sure it's probably already got like 1 million hits or something.
Yeah.
But you know.
But you didn't make any money. You got to make the money off it. That's the most important part.
Oh, you didn't know? I'm like super famous in Ghana. Hello.
That's what always makes me laugh. These leaked sex tapes, but like somehow you make it so that at least, well, if it's out there, I may as well make money off of it.
That's true.
Okay.
I can say I would do any different.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I'm a whore,
You
not
can't
a
claim
slut.
to be. Well, you can't claim to be. You know, what's violated by this
Yeah.
if you're willing to take money for it.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
could see if you took the money and then you gave it to a charity or something, but I don't.
What charity would
But
you
we know.
what charity would you give porn earnings to, though?
HIV
Give it to
Foundation.
anything.
HIV, yeah, that's actually
Foundation,
fair.
that's
HIV
good.
Foundation.
That's
Give it
actually
to
very
any
fair.
charity that- animals? Why not give it to animals?
Yeah,
Right?
I guess they
You
would
could
know.
give it to, I don't know, women's rights across the ocean somewhere, or even in your own country
I
where women's rights are being taken away.
I will say though, in regards to the whole sex tape thing, remember our little Jacqueline, our little conversation about somebody who's close to home.
Hmm.
You know, that whole thing. After having had a discussion with another family member about this,
Right.
I said, I'm smart enough to not put my face on mine.
Well, you would
Right.
think that most people
Yeah.
should be smart enough.
Because and the other part is I could at least say at the time that was made, I was married to the person who I was doing it with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the other one was with a person I was with for 4 years.
Well, I mean, but still, people break up and get bitter and release these things.
No, and that's fine. But at least I can say, well, we were in a relationship for 4 years, or I was married to that person. But then to just have this, I think where the embarrassment may come from is I would be embarrassed. You shouldn't be embarrassed if you have a sex date. First of all, number one, if you were enjoying the sex, God bless you. But I would be embarrassed in a situation if it was like a one night stand, or
Yeah.
you were doing it for money, or whatever the case was, or whatever the case is, and exclamation points and all that stuff. My thing is, if you're gonna make a sex tape, be smart. Have it in your possession. Use your phone,
Mhm.
and don't put your face. Just
Well, I mean, kind of hard to hide your face when the guy's busting a nut on it sometimes, right?
well, then don't record that part. Don't record that part.
Well, who knows? Maybe Leela will have some really good sex tape tips for us on her fucking blog.
I'm sure she's got
Yeah.
some good sex tips. She's been around the block, you know what I mean?
She likes taking the tips.
So let's talk about this next one because I think this is kind of an interesting one too. So there's a show called The Leftovers. I don't know if anybody here watches. I watched the first
No.
couple seasons. It stars Jennifer Aniston's husband, Justin Theroux.
They're married.
Yes. Yeah, they're
Okay.
married.
Surprise.
So I guess Monday was the last day of the Emmy voting where people could be nominated to win an Emmy. And the showrunner of The Leftovers, Damon Lindelof, who's pretty famous. Didn't he not do Lost? Was he on Lost?
Yeah, Lindelof was on Lost.
Okay. So he put out a few tweets. The first one is this one. This one kind of is the one that upset me the most. Nominate Theroux and the sweatpants go away. So he's very famous on this show that he's always showing his incredible body. And there's one scene where he's jogging and not wearing any underwear, and the Theroux was almost released. So basically, he's telling people if you vote for him and he gets an Emmy nomination, he's going to go full frontal next season.
Is it on
What do you
cable?
guys think?
Is it on cable?
No, it's HBO.
It's
Yeah, I was about to
HBO?
say, I think it's an HBO show. Yeah,
Can you show full frontal on HBO?
Yes.
they did on Oz.
Oh yeah, Oz, Game of
Constantly.
Thrones. I'm pretty sure the only rule is you can't show erect penis.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah,
would
I'm
make
pretty sure
sense,
because
yeah.
then it crosses a line into porn. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
why a gimmick, bro? Like, if you want to show your dong to the world, I mean, have
Just
at
show
her.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
the internet's here
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah, just show it.
Yeah. Shouldn't
Sure.
your show stand on the talent of the show? Shouldn't he get a nomination based on his talent
Right.
and not his
Yes.
dick?
But I mean,
Might look. I mean, I don't know.
there's thirsty women out there though that will turn in just
Oh,
at
yeah.
the hope of seeing it. So
Ridiculous. And what a huge double standard too.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the thing that's bothering me the most. If any show starring a woman, okay, let's say Scandal, right? Nominate, what's that lady's name? Kerry Washington
Mhm.
for an Emmy, and you'll get to see her tits or her vagina.
I
What would
think,
people say? People would be outraged, right?
yeah, women would be. Most guys would be sitting
Yeah.
at home on their computer just waiting
Yes,
for
nominating
it.
like crazy.
Exactly, right?
Well, that's the thing. But don't you think, okay, so we're at a time now, let's not deny that there was a lot of female discrimination, and there still is.
Yeah.
But we're kind of at a time where it's turned into a lot more. I don't know if it's because now women are wanting to be equal, so we're going to turn it around on the guys. I mean, I look at BuzzFeed articles, and they have all these articles about you can wear whatever you want. Look at these big girls rocking these outfits, showing their tummies, whatever. Fantastic. They're bringing up women and celebrating love your body. But then I'll see an article where it's like, guys, you need to stop dressing like this. And they'll tell you how you shouldn't wear cargo shorts or flip-flops or all these different things. Who cares? If women can wear whatever the frick they want, why can't a man, whether you think it's a mess or not?
I don't know. Like, I personally don't get this whole damn thing. I mean, I'm in for equality. You want to dress like a whore, dress like a whore. You're a dude and you want to dress like a whore, dress like a whore. Like, either sex wants to wear rompers, fucking have at her. But no, I'm going to point and laugh at you.
Well, that's the thing. You wear something in public, you're putting yourself to criticisms.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. Am I being too left-wing liberal snowflake saying, like, why are we hurting the men too? We shouldn't be hurting anybody, you know? I don't know. I just think that, look, trust me, if he shows his dong next season, I will be watching. But I just think that it's kind of a cheap ploy to get votes because, like
absolutely.
I said, stand on the quality of your work, not the quality of your dick.
That's for him. For me, if you guys, I will do anything for fame. So, whatever, I don't care.
Even he's established now. It's not like it's his first role. I mean, I know a lot of people will have to show their, their boobs in an early movie, or they're doing stuff that they might not want to see.
Did, I think, on a very early movie she did.
Yeah, a horror movie that she tried to get, squashed, that it never came out, but it was released to DVD. Yeah.
I don't know. If you're willing to be sexualized, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're cool with essentially being a hoe, then fine, whatever. I mean, doesn't bother me any.
Yeah.
Right?
It's what floats your boat. Exactly. It's like whatever. I do think that sometimes there's that, not stigma, but there's truth in that saying that some people in Hollywood are willing to do whatever it takes to get where they want to, get. And how far
the casting couch, right?
That was brutal for people back then, though. That was.
But it's still around from what people are saying. Look, who was it just said? What's her name? She was on Community. Now she's in That Glow. What's her name?
Oh, Alison Brie.
Yeah, she's talking about how just not even that long ago, somebody wanted her, a producer wanted her to show up in a bikini.
Yeah.
Even though she would never have to be in a bikini or nude in the show or the movie she was auditioning for. Stuff is still happening.
Yeah.
I mean, Crazy Days and Nights has a whole bunch of things about the child sex ring in Hollywood, about how these kids are passed around to get
there's a
jobs.
documentary on that.
The whole thing about, this is alleged, so don't sue me, anybody. The whole thing about Jeanette McCurdy and Dan Schneider on that show. What was that show called? iCarly, yeah. So the little blonde one on iCarly supposedly was dating the producer, who was much, much older. Supposedly. She wasn't even 18 yet. This is all alleged. It's all alleged and rumors. So, I mean, it's not I wasn't there in the room. I didn't see anything going on. I don't know. But, I don't think there's a lot of scruples in Hollywood.
But, I mean, let's face it, though. Like, not many of us are going to want to watch a show or a movie that doesn't have ridiculously attractive people in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
half the fun of watching these shows and movies is the imagining, like, I'd like to hook up with that person.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, look, one of the reasons I love Game of Thrones is because it doesn't doesn't hide the sex.
Yeah.
Doesn't hide the nudity. I mean, I'm not a prude by any sense of the word, so I'm not offended when I see male or female nudity or a sex scene, as long as it's like, you know.
Every form of entertainment, whether it be here in Canada, in Asia, there's always that kind of, what do you call that?
Titillation?
Yeah, it has to be.
Titillation.
It has to be like enticing to the public.
Yeah.
I think the issue with that is, though, not to make it too serious, right? But the issue with that is there are people who actually run on the talent aspect of things, and they lose out on a role or an opportunity or even a shot because, again, we're running with the aspect of you have to be attractive to be on screen. You know what I mean? And it happens a lot. People lose out on roles, and it's like, why did we have to cast Emma Stone as, you know, the Asian girl when she's clearly not fucking Asian? When we could have, you know, Hollywood is big enough where we could have done, and the role wasn't that big of a role, where we could have tried to do what do you call that? An open casting call for newbies to come in. Why do we do that?
Because people won't pay money for people they don't know.
I think it goes even deeper than that in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think it's, I hate to say this, this is going to come off really wrong. I think it's about universally being attractive. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You have to be universally attractive. And let's be frank, Asian people half of them don't even like their own kind. So it's like for them.
And that's the thing. There's still the racism where a lot of people don't find Asians attractive.
Is that racist though? Like,
well,
I mean, if
it's racist.
I get if I said like full out unequivocally, I find all Asian people unattractive. Yeah, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah, that's bad.
But I mean, I can't, except for maybe one or two that I've met in my actual real life, I can't really say that I've ever seen an Asian celebrity that I just fell head over heels for. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It's not, this is the thing. It's not racist if you have a type, right? I like guys with dark hair and light eyes. But do I only, you know, let myself be attracted to that? Am I open? If I see an Asian guy that's hot, I'll be like, damn, that guy looks good. If I see a black guy that looks hot, oh yeah, he looks good. I like him.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is not, it's not so much that they find Asians unattractive in Hollywood as much as they don't think Americans or the world in general will. So they're not willing to take a chance and let somebody be proven. I think is the issue.
I think part of the issue with that is you can take things a step too far. To answer your question, Arthur, yes and no. Right? Because if you say, kind of like what Jacqueline said, well, my preference is, there's nothing wrong with having a preference, but there is something wrong with saying, and I've heard, and I'm not going to mention who has said this to me, someone who was very close to me had said, Asian people just aren't attractive. Which is like, what?
Yeah, see, like, I could understand that being a racist statement.
Yeah, because it can be. Yeah.
I know for me personally, like, the facial features that I find attractive, round eyes, big full lips, are not something I see on a lot of Asian women.
Yeah.
So is that racism? Is that bigotry?
No,
you know what I mean? Because like I'm trying to
racism
navigate this regressive world that we're fucking living in right now, and I'm really stepping on eggshells right now. You know?
No, you're not. I don't think you're. I don't think you're
it's
stepping on eggshells at all.
Look, people are naturally, we're visual. So when we see something, we're attracted right off or not. The idea for me is if you met somebody who was Asian and not necessarily large eyes and big lips, but after like, you know, a couple weeks of knowing them, you think, oh, you know what? I really like their personality, but too bad they're Asian. Then you're racist.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely racist.
You're willing to open up and be like, you know what? It's not my usual type, but I'm going to give it a go because I really like them.
Or the fact that you won't even consider a person because of their race.
Definitely.
That's absolutely racist.
I think that's racist. Because, again, I'm going with the whole, oh God, I don't want to make this too deep. And, you know, we can save that for another time. But I think substance, a lot of people, you know, especially around our age, because we're getting up there in age. I'm not going to lie about my age. I'm 27. I'm getting up there in age, and eventually you have to really find substance in your relationship. That is, if you want to be married or if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you have to find substance. And, you know, looks fade, beauty fades, even bodies droop. You know what I mean? And so you just have to find the substance. And sometimes, to steal what Adrienne Bailon had said in that show, The Real, which is the stupidest show in the world because they all suck as hosts. But I think what she said was actually beautiful. If maybe for once people would take off one less or take off one less filter off of, like, you know, your preferences, it would help you. It would help you because you there's a difference between what you want and what you need.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that I think speaks truth when it comes to relationships. But that's a topic all by itself, and that's big.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to also consider your history too. So, like, we can say for Arthur, he's attracted to that kind of girl, and think about who he's been with for the last 14 years is a beautiful girl with big eyes and big lips, right? So, I mean, of course, I used to be attracted to big, buff guys. Now I'm with my husband. Now I see kind of short guys, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, he's kind of cute. I like short guys now. So, not that I don't like tall guys still, but I take more look at a short guy than I would have previously before I got with my husband.
I know I warp Liz's views on what's attractive because now she finds like big, tattooed, harried, fucking scumbag looking dudes hot, which is fucking hilarious to me.
I'm assuming,
well, I never would have liked a guy with a thinner mustache. I was like clean cut jock all the way, and now I'm like, oh, really? I like a beard. I like a beard.
I'm the only one out of both of you here, which is, you've called me weird before. I'm weird. I don't have a type. You don't have a type. You don't have a preference. That's
good.
If you can't make me laugh, if you can't make me, if you can't,
so that's your type, funny guys.
No, that's not even a type.
Right?
If you just can't make me laugh and you can't stimulate my brain, you're not the one for me. Like, you could be fucking.
Well, that's the thing.
Idris Elba. And if you
can be as handsome as the day, you can be my perfect type. Right, but if you don't do it for me mentally, that's it. It doesn't matter how handsome you are.
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure the same is for Arthur. I mean, Arthur is a pretty intelligent guy that likes to have discussions, and his wife won't discuss with him. But she's like, I'm not talking to you anymore, Arthur. It's too much.
15 years of listening to me rant and rave about fucking essentially nonsense. I can't blame her.
But see,
that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised. That's why this is a good outlet for us.
But see, that's the thing. Look at that. That's substance in a relationship, right? Because
and it's honesty.
Yeah. That's substance in a relationship. 15 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's
a long time. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about. I don't think Ryan is as much as Arthur and I are huge Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I grew up with them. I remember going to the movie theater or the drive-in and seeing the original Star Wars when I was probably 5 years old.
You're dating yourself.
I'm very old. You know, I remember clear as day that scene where Darth Vader walks through the blaster smoke and just that dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? That's like imprinted on my psyche forever.
Yeah.
And I know that Arthur's father and loved Star Wars, so he was raised up with it as well as me.
Yes, I was.
And I was very much looking forward to the new Han Solo movie. But now I'm getting a little afraid.
I don't really think that the change in director is going to hurt it too much.
Well, we're going to a quality director.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't. I think the whole issue with the Han Solo movie, and it's the issue I've had since I first heard that it was happening, is this kid who's a fairly unknown actor, like, I don't even know his name, has some...
Alden Ehrenreich, right?
Something like that. But he's got some huge shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, huge shoes to fill. Mm-hmm. Even Donald Glover to play Lando Calrissian. Like, huge.
And we're talking about two huge charismatic characters and actors.
Yeah. Like, Billy D. Williams, you know, like, he's no slouch.
No. I mean, I think the favorite person in all the movies would be Lando Calrissian, other than Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's Lando. He wore a cape.
Yeah, he definitely wore a cape. He was so smooth. Like, he was so smooth. Like, I'll tell you right now, Billy D. Williams could have talked me out of my sweatpants.
Yeah. Yeah, out of your cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
But you know, but I think so. That's the thing, right? Like when you're stepping into a movie or into a role that's been idolized for such a long time, and someone played it to the best of their abilities, it's going to be very hard for you to play that role without the criticism that's going to come before you even step into the fucking film set.
Yo, yeah, this kid's gonna get eaten alive by the
yeah.
fans.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
they've already admitted that he's needed to have an acting coach.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will
that's
help
not good.
him. But I mean, looking at this kid, I guess he's okay looking, but he wasn't even my choice. You know, the person I would have loved to play him, I don't know if he can act because he only did a couple lines where I saw him. I'm sure none of you saw this movie, The Age of Adeline,
No.
with Blake Lively.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Do you remember, because Harrison Ford was in it, do you remember the young man that played young Harrison Ford?
No.
He literally looked exactly like young Harrison Ford. But like I said, he only had a few lines, so I don't know if he can act. I don't even know if he can speak English without an accent because I believe he's European. But I mean, if you're gonna get somebody, you got to make sure he has the acting chops because this is an iconic role.
Yeah.
See, for Han Solo, the movie, like I was really rooting for that. What's his name? Miles Teller.
Oh
Because he has,
no!
see, and I hate that guy. I fucking hate
Yeah.
that guy. But he has that natural, like, kind of douchebag,
Snark.
really
Oh my
arrogant,
God.
fucking, you know, swagger that Han Solo has. I was really rooting for that guy, and I was saying it to Liz. I'm like, I might not pay money to see the fucking movie if he's in it, but I think he would have crushed that role. Now again, I don't know.
He's a fantastic actor. I agree.
Yeah. Oh,
but
I hate him in everything.
Stand his look either.
Oh no, yeah, he's a. I mean, I can't really say much because I'm kind of ugly myself, but he's not a good-looking man.
You look like no, you look like your papa, and he's a very handsome man. Don't say that.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I mean, I guess we'll see. I think part of it too, why these two, because originally it was two directors for this movie.
Yeah.
These are the guys who did 21 Jump Street, and this is the one things they're saying here is, in this article from GQ, particularly after a recent shoot in the Millennium Falcon didn't yield the results she suspected. This is from Kathleen Kennedy. She's the person, the head of the movie company. They were doing a lot of what do you call that? Oh, the Lord, it's not coming to me. Improvising, that's the word. So she was making these actors improvise the lines, and the writer of the movie is actually co-wrote the movie. He's a co-writer of Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and The Force Awakens. So he's got a history with Star Wars, and a history with the Han Solo character. So he's standing behind these two directors, watching these guys improvise, and he's getting mad because he's saying they need to say the lines word for word.
Yeah.
I will also say this. GQ says that when the crew was told Ron Howard would take over as director, the crew broke into applause.
oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Star Wars. The fans are the most rabid fucking fans you will ever meet in your life. We do not take no fucking shit. If you fuck with the story, we will lynch you.
Look how we came after George Lucas.
Exactly. Right? And I mean, even as a huge Tolkien fan, I felt that way with The Hobbit. Like, I wanted to fly to New Zealand and punch Peter Jackson in the face for putting Evangeline Lilly in that movie.
Oh, same. I hate her too.
Oh my God, I can't stand her.
The point of those movies that bothered me was I could see why you had to make a couple of movies because it is a
very long story.
Book. 4 movies? No, that was ridiculous to me. You managed to do 3 long books in a single. Each book was in a single film for Lord of the Rings, and did a pretty good stand-up job. But I didn't enjoy The Hobbit.
I feel like the problem with a lot of directors too is, I'm gonna say this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. They're so fucking pretentious.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's unpopular. I think that's pretty.
It's a known fact.
Like Peter Jackson. I know somebody who's like a super fan of things like Game of Thrones, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're into that kind of stuff, good for you. Because I'm personally not. My thing is like when he just started to go off, oh, but Peter Jackson's the best, blah, 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 and he deserved the Oscar. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut the fuck. You sound like a fucking moron. Shut up. Like, I hate people like that. And so I think You fed this guy so much ego, Peter Jackson, right?
Mhm.
And oh my God, he just, because I saw all the movies. Oh my God, it was just like, holy crap. It was
Well, I
a
think
bore fest. I felt like the last movie was a complete utter bore fest.
Creatively. Is that a word? Creativity?
Creatively.
That's the word. That's the word I want to say. Thank you. I cannot speak this morning.
It's okay.
He was the best for that movie. I mean, he made that movie beautiful, and it looks the way it should look. But the problem is that, you know, especially in the last Lord of the Rings movie, the cheap endings.
Yeah.
We didn't need those, and yeah, expanding that movie to 4 movies, I fell asleep through one of them. I thought all of them were an hour too long. Just they could have just did that in 2 to 3 movies, and I would have been happy.
It's. I mean, they better do this Han Solo movie correct, or else again they're gonna have a legion of mad nerds.
And they've done well with the two reboots that they've done so far. Rogue One was good.
Yeah, Rogue One was great.
The Force Awakens was good.
I mean, The Force Awakens, I mean, it got a lot of flack because they did just remake A New Hope. Like, it seriously was A New Hope. But whatever, it was still all right. John Boyega was great. Like, what a great pick for that movie.
He was really good.
Oh, just so good. Have you ever seen the one movie he did, Attack the Block?
Yeah, I saw that years ago. Yeah.
God, it's one of those sleeper movies that nobody really knows about, but it was acted well, it was written well, it was directed well, like everything about that movie.
And a unique concept.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
Now again,
I love the UK stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, but me being like a kind of a horror nerd too, you know what I mean? Like I kind of flocked to that stuff anyway, but
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping for big things for Mr. Boyega.
I'm sure we'll see lots more from him.
Yeah. Daisy Ridley, meh, I don't care. She's just a younger Keira Knightley as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with her, actually. I thought she was one of the weaker things. The other thing I didn't like, I can't remember that name, the one that Lupita Nyong'o voiced, that little character.
Oh, Maz.
Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with Maz.
Well, they had to have some kind of Yoda-ish character in it, right?
But I did love BB-8. I'm sorry, I know he's such a little... Definitely just to sell toys, but I loved him. He was adorable.
Did you see where Neil deGrasse Tyson like completely destroyed the physics of BB-8?
I heard about it, but I didn't watch the actual video.
That guy is so good.
Ruin it for us, Neil. Don't destroy his stuff.
That's one of my favorite things to do in sci-fi movies, and I know Liz gets really mad at me because I'll sit there, I'll talk through them all, like, no, that can't work. Like that can't work.
That's what gets me. That's why I love time travel movies.
Yeah,
because I love kind of being like, that would make a paradox. Yeah. That's not possible. He would disappear. Like, that's the kind of thing I am. That's what bothers me. This is why I'm the only person in the world that hates T2. I think that's the worst movie in the whole group. It pisses me off. But everybody loves T2, but I hate it because it ends with a paradox. So.
Oh, it definitely does. But as far as the Terminator movies go, it was the best one action-wise.
Yeah, it had a lot of action. But I still love the first one because it had my back then boyfriend, Michael Biehn. I love him.
Oh, yeah.
Reese. Okay, so anything else on Han Solo, the movie?
Yeah, Ryan? I can't wait. Like, let's get her done.
I'll still watch it. I don't care if it's horrible. I'll watch it, and then of course I'll complain about it, but I'll still watch it. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have interest in stuff like that. You know me. I'm a bit of a prude.
I know.
That's cool.
A prude? There's nothing bad in those movies.
No, there's nothing
Ryan
bad.
likes drama.
I do. I love having
He likes these sweeping dramas.
But you won't even watch them for like the CGI or anything like that, eh? Like that doesn't
I would. I would. No, I would. I love discussing special effects, especially I grew up in the 90s, like, and sometimes when
that stuff was really coming forward.
Yeah. I mean, the 90s is still pretty modern in comparison to, 70s.
Yeah. When they were doing claymation.
Yeah. Well, I remember going to see Jurassic Park and going, holy cow.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing. And I mean, those effects are still pretty good.
I was going to say the remake of Jurassic Park was fabulous. Oh, the acting sucked, but it was fabulous.
Yeah, that part with the action, that sort of stuff was good, but it was a little bit weak. And I didn't think that Chris Pratt had that much. I just don't think that they had any chemistry.
See, I'll agree with the chemistry, but you don't think Chris Pratt did well in that role?
No.
He was the only decent one. I didn't like her that much.
No, I didn't think she was the greatest, but I really thought he was good. I thought Chris
hate her.
Pratt was fucking amazing in that movie.
I don't hate her. I think she has her moments. Like, she was good in The Help.
Is that Bryce Dallas or is that Jessica? I always mistake them.
Yeah, same here.
It's Bryce Dallas.
Is it Bryce Dallas? I hate her. Like,
Wasn't
she
it? Or maybe
she really needs
I
to.
think they're both in that movie, aren't they?
No, I think it's only Bryce. I don't think Jessica was in that movie. I really.
Not in Jurassic, in The Help.
Oh, The Help.
No.
Oh, in The Help, it was, yes.
Those-
Both of them were in that movie, yeah.
See, but that's how I kind of.
Bryce was the real bitch in The Help. Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel about with this new Han Solo. Pretty much all the Star Wars movies that are coming out is even if the storylines are shit, at least the CGI should be fucking mind blowing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? So
Enough to entertain.
exactly,
you.
because that's how I feel about with all these superhero movies. I'm not a comic book fan. I don't really give two shits about superheroes.
But you have to appreciate the, yeah, I agree.
Exactly, like the action scenes are fucking amazing.
But when does the action scenes become too much? Because
Oh,
I watched.
God.
Everybody told me to watch the Avengers,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry,
I
I
thought
couldn't deal with
the
that
fight scene-
5-hour
Yeah.
long fight in this city. I was just like,
I
too long.
thought that was
I
too
think
long,
that's my
too.
problem. Maybe because I'm the Generation X was the first generation to kind of start losing its attention span.
Yeah.
But I just can't when they go too long. Like the worst was that one of those freaking Transformer movies my husband dragged me to.
Oh, God.
I couldn't even tell which Transformer was the Autobot or the Decepticon because they looked exactly the same and they're just spinning around so fast
Yeah.
in the sky. I had no clue what the fuck was going on. I'm like, which one is that? And Scott's like, shh. Like I couldn't.
Fucking me and Liz have this
I can't.
drinking game with the Transformer movies, and you'll get hammered if you do it. But you know what lens flare is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, drink every time there's lens flare in one of those Transformer movies, and I
Oh,
guarantee you'll be
really?
blacked out drunk within the first 20 minutes. I can't fucking stand Michael Bay and his fucking horrible
Michael Bay
fucking directing.
He's so, oh my God, that's pretentious.
Oh my god, a cup of
And
coffee,
acting like his work is high art too.
right?
Oh my God.
Like a cup of
pretentious.
coffee hits the ground and there's this like huge explosion and all this fucking lens flare, and then all of a sudden Megan Fox is out there shaking her tits.
You know how
Yeah.
for you guys, it's like super fantasy stuff that you guys are like geeking over? My geek moments are superhero stuff,
Yeah.
like X-Men.
Yes, I don't. Other than Spider-Man, and I watch the X-Men movies. I'm not a huge.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I mean, everybody's going crazy for all these comic
And
book movies. I'm like,
I'm a Marvel superhero person. I hate DC. I think DC needs to kill itself. I hate them. Absolutely fucking hate them. I hate their
that's because you
storylines.
want to be Storm.
Because I want to be power of this heron wind. I just want to be able to fucking say that. Like, I love Marvel. Like, you have no idea. They did the cartoon, the Japanese one. It was I think back in 2011 or 2012. It was 5 episodes only. I didn't understand a word they said, but let me tell you, that was some good shit. And I finally found one with the English subtitles. That was even better for me. I'm a Marvel fanatic.
See, that's how I am with horror movies.
Same here.
I love horror, and I mean, yeah, Arthur grew up on them as well. I love horror movies. I love when all the Paranormal Activities come out. I'm excited for It reboot to come out.
Oh,
I
can't
love the
wait.
Ring movies. I love zombie movies. I love like 28 Days.
Not for me.
Oh, later. I
So
just
not
love
for me.
those movies.
It's not for me because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to sleep at night, which happens typically because I get so fucking scared. But yeah, no, I'm a superhero geek. I love the superheroes. I can tell you all about Psylocke and her history, Jean Grey, all that stuff. Like that is my geek moment. Ultimately, that's where my expertise lies in movies, and dramas. I love drama, but I'm not even a movie or a TV person. Jacqueline, you know that about me.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
Now,
so-
do you know the comics? Do you know Justice?
No, I'm not that deep.
That's who Logan's middle name is named after, Justice. He's a very obscure Marvel character whose name was Tensin,
Uh-huh.
and that's where my husband got Logan's name.
I
And he
thought he
always
got
said
it
from the day I met him, he wanted to name him Tensin.
I thought he got it from a video game.
No, it's this guy named Justice. I'm pretty sure it's Justice. Watch, he'll come home and be like, it's not Justice.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty
He'll
sure it was
correct
Justice
you,
was
yeah.
his name.
He'll definitely
Yeah, his
correct
name was
you, I'm sure.
Tensin. And from the day I met him, he said, when I have a son, I'm naming Tensin. And I'm like, well, not with me, you're not.
Yeah. With
Nice.
Scott, I'm surprised your boy didn't end up Bruce Lee Fraser.
You know what? Growing up, Logan's best friend in school was Logan Lee, who was named after Wolverine and Bruce Lee.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. I'm
Yeah.
sure Scott was so jealous.
Oh, when he would talk to his dad, he'd be like, "Oh my god," blah, blah, blah. They'd just go on and on about
Bruce
whatever
Lee.
they were talking about.
Eh,
I'm not a big karate-esque kind of.
It
no,
depends. I'm not really into the old '70s movies.
Yeah.
Scott loves those ones.
Oh, yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a Jackie Chan movie every once in a while that interests me.
I was never into them until I met Scott, and Scott gave me the history of Bruce Lee and all that shit, and now I find it so fascinating.
Bruce Lee was a pretty awesome guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was.
Yeah.
He was though. He was.
Okay, so I think Ryan, you want to talk about the GPS story?
Oh yes. Okay. So let me just put this into perspective. First time in the United States, we got a car, right? My family and I were driving, because I used to be my father's GPS, but there was the one time that I actually really had no idea where we were going. Mm-hmm. So he entrusted himself in the GPS, and here we are, we're driving. We're in a rush because we're trying to take my sister to a soccer game match. Okay, fine. So we're following the GPS, and I'm starting to say to myself, because I'm kind of somewhat familiar with the area, I'm just not familiar with, Grand Street, let's say, or, Nostrand Avenue or whatever. Not to get specific because I don't know exactly what street it was at the time. I'm like, we're getting awfully close to the East River, to the water. Like, this is getting a little scary. And then it told us to literally pull over in the middle of the highway.
Oh my gosh.
And take a boat.
What?
And I'm like,
from the highway?
Yes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because there's a pier over there. And I'm just like, oh my God, What the fuck is going on? Like in my head, I'm like, what's going on?
You're trying to send you back to Philippines.
No, it was across the river, because what we did was there's an option on some GPS, the old GPS systems, right? I don't know if this is still applicable now, where you can, like, the fastest route, like whatever it takes.
Route, yeah.
And we had put that, and we didn't know that you can take a boat over there. So here we are. She's absolutely late at this point. Like, she's like maybe 30 minutes late to the game. And I'm like, I have no idea, like, how we're going to get there. And thank God, like, we were able to kind of finagle our way. But it literally told us to get on a boat. In my head, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are we in the middle of the highway being told to park and then take the thing? In my head, I'm like, oh my God. Because my dad.
Okay, but you guys at least had the sense not to drive into the East River.
Of course. Well, I've heard horrible stories about that, but go ahead. Do tell.
Okay, well, Daniel Alley, this is a gentleman. He was driving in West Yarmouth, Massachusetts, on his way to a friend's summer home. So I guess going to a cottage or something like that. It was 1:30 in the morning, so it's dark. I'm going to give him at least he had the reason of it being dark. He was using his Garmin GPS, and he wasn't familiar with the area, so he just followed the GPS things until he ended up in Swan Pond. Literally in Swan Pond, which actually, looking at the map, does not look like a pond. It looks pretty big. The police arrived. They saw the Jeep about 100 feet offshore, but him and his passenger were okay. So that's the good thing.
Thank God.
They did discover that he was driving without a license because it had been revoked.
Oh, God.
And he was cited with operating a motor vehicle with a revoked license. Oh, so God. This is my worry is now, last time we went down east, my husband and my children and I meticulously wrote every direction. I followed it on Google Maps. I looked at the pictures, and I knew what every exit looked like. So, I mean, I had everything. Once we got down there, my husband's like, oh, we don't need your directions. We're going to use my phone's Google GPS, blah, blah, blah. Now he wants to buy an actual Garmin GPS. And I'm like, well, I hope I don't end up in the Gulf of St. Lawrence or into the Bay of Fundy.
They're worth it.
If I disappear, please check those places.
I will say that the GPSs are worth it. My dad still has one, and he doesn't need it because he typically uses his cell phone. But then when you travel, like when they went recently to go to the Philippines, right, and they drove, he was able to use it there.
He got the updates for Philippines.
Oh yeah, he got the updates for it. Yeah, it was fabulous. I was like, oh my God, that's fantastical. But
well, yeah, and I mean they're helpful, but you have to kind of. I mean, this guy was in the dark, so I guess it would ease.
No, that's not an excuse. It's called headlights or high beams. You should be able to see what's in front of you. And if you can't see, girl, maybe you need to not drive.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should have your license revoked.
Yeah, if you can't see a lake, then yeah, you should.
Yeah,
be
you
operating
need
a
to
fucking vehicle.
reconsider your life story.
Yeah.
If that is happening.
Well,
to
I
you.
will say this. Arthur will know this. When we went down east, his sisters, Caitlin and Robin, were taking us to the little girl's grave. Now, there's a story about a little girl who died, and her grave is supposedly haunted and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we were driving through. Scott was driving, and we came over a hill. Not a huge hill, but just a little hill. And the trees were hanging right. It's like this little tiny forest road, and the trees were hanging right down. And when the high beams hit those trees, it looked like the trees were coming at us. We both jumped and almost shit our pants. That was a scary road in the middle of the night.
That's the thing about that little girl's grave. It's the drive to it that's more terrifying than whatever stories that's there, right?
Yeah. That drive was freaky as shit.
Oh yeah.
The funniest story I can tell about getting lost was I was taking a trip with somebody. I'm not going to mention people's names. We were driving down from super upstate New York to down here. I think it was Thanksgiving. And there's a little town. I had told you about this, right? About like supposedly in that town, it's a bunch of incest inbred people. And he had said, "You never."
Were you in Parkersburg?
No. This was in New York. But I'm not in West Virginia. There was no flash mob. And all of a sudden, he had said to me, "You never want your car to break down here because, apparently people here aren't the kindest and things happen." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be funny if the car broke down." All of a sudden.
Why would you both say that? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. And all of us, it was like the hills have eyes. The car breaks down and I'm like, "I'm not leaving the fucking car. You better call whoever you need to fucking call because I'm not trying to die with the story." And this was late night. This was maybe like 9 o'clock at night. I'm, shitting my pants. This is how scared I was. I didn't even open the window to smoke a cigarette. I didn't even smoke a cigarette. I was like, I'm not going to fucking die in a fucking Nissan. In this kind of fucking situation. This is not.
Which car would you want to die in?
A Bentley.
Lexus.
A Bentley or a fucking, a Rolls Royce. That's fine. I always joke around, by the way, like when
it's awful that you guys had that ready to go. Like you've thought about it.
Yeah.
I think about this all the time. Like every time I'm crossing the street, I'm like, you can't. I screamed one time. I almost got hit. Literally, almost got hit by a car. He was maybe less than a feet from hitting me. That's scary. That's what, like your thumb to your pinky.
Yeah.
That's about a feet, right? Yeah. He almost hit me. I was on a go, and pedestrians have the right of way. I was on a go, and he was on a stop sign, and he literally almost hit me. I said to myself, "You're not even driving a fucking Rolls Royce. You're driving a 1992 Nissan Maxima. You probably don't even have good insurance. I'm gonna get killed by a 1992 Nissan Maxima." That was my first train of thought.
Oh,
it wasn't,
amazing.
"I'm gonna die." It was, "I'm gonna get hit by a Nissan Maxima." Probably 1990.
Oh
He had the roll down windows. He didn't have the power windows. I was like, "Oh my God, Ryan, like this is just like my bag costs more than this fucking car at this point. Like really, this can't be my fucking ending."
That's good.
I think about that. When I think about my death, it's very dramatic. Like if I was gonna like die, I gotta have a deathbed, I gotta have an outfit. Remember, Jacqueline, I told you I have to die in Chanel. I'm not dying in pajamas. I'm gonna fucking die in pajamas over here. I'm gonna die in fucking Chanel. I'm gonna look good. If you shoot me, I have to be wearing like Dior or something, and then like carrying the most coveted clutch in the world, custom shoes. Dying. I am the most morbid person when it comes to death. Don't hit me with a fucking Nissan. Don't hit me with a fucking Toyota. Don't hit me with a Honda. At least have like Arthur had said, a Lexus. That's
a Lexus
fine.
or above, right? Like,
Yeah, Lexus or above. That's fine. I'll deal with that. But no fucking Hondas. I'll be pissed. I'll be like, "You fucking hit me with a Honda." I'm not dealing with that.
That's good stuff.
Well, so you talked about being morbid with death. I have this thing, and I don't know if it's just me. Like if I'm standing at a bus stop and a plane flies overhead, I think if that plane started to crash on me, which way would I have to run to get away from it? Just like, or if I'm laying in bed and I hear a plane, I think the same thing. Just any kind of thing I think about, like if I'm at work and I think, oh my god, if the store got robbed, should I run out the fire door or should I run into the office? Like I think of all the different ways that, if I'm walking down the street and it's really quiet, I think, what if this is the start of the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah.
What will I do? Oh like I'm just always thinking about the things I need to do to prepare for,
oh my god,
inevitable death.
I thought I was the only one who used to think about stuff like that. When I'm all alone in my room, I'm like, fucking Lucifer's right there in the corner watching me. I have to try to look good for him before he takes my soul, kind of a thing. I think about there's this show, American Horror Story, Coven, specifically Coven, was it season 3, Coven? When Nan died and she said to Papa Legba, am I always going to have to wear this dress? That would be my first comment if I die. Like, if I die in my pajamas, this is what I'm going to be.
I thought it would be Balenciaga.
Yeah, I would, it's the weirdest thing. When I would be coming home late, I used to have a graveyard shift job, but when I would take break, even New York City has its quiet time. I mean, it's a city that never sleeps, but it has its quiet time. I was on my way to go to the store to maybe grab something to eat. It was super quiet, and I heard someone going, I'm like, oh my god, the zombie apocalypse has started. That's it. That's it. I'm dead. Instead of thinking there's someone maybe in pain or a homeless person who's high off of drugs or whatever the case is, you're thinking, no, it's a zombie apocalypse and you're going to get bitten and you're going to die. Like, and it's in the most unfabulous way.
At any moment for the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I have it all planned out. I mean, it used to be better because my father-in-law lived close by and he's a hunter, so he has guns. I was like, I'll just get to his house. It's like very close. But now they moved away, like not far away, but farther, so it's not as easy to get there. So I don't know what I'll do now.
I do have a plan for the zombie apocalypse. I'm not gonna lie. I have a plan. In the old apartment that I had, we had a pantry. That pantry was well stocked. We had chocolate. We had the essentials. We had chocolate.
The first thing he mentions is chocolate for well stocked.
We had canned goods. We had like minute rice. That all you had to do was like heat it up and it's like cooked already and stuff like that. I was well stocked. You weren't gonna kill me, girl. Because it was a basement and it tends to it had its own entrance. It's not technically a basement because it was a split level. There's a term for it. It's like a split level or whatever. In the wintertime, I told you the story about how we got stuck for like 2 hours.
Oh, the snow
covered the door and we could not get out. We were saved. We had food in the house, in the pantry. That's one of my number one plans. I'm training myself in martial arts, like Psylocke is, so I could like ninja all these things. These what do you call it? These zombies. I'm gonna be wearing super stinky clothes so I smell like the zombies. I'm not gonna smell like a fresh human being.
Oh, you're gonna do a sneak in the middle of them. Do you have a zombie apocalypse plan, Arthur?
Oh yeah, I'm going straight Negan styles. I'm not worrying about the zombies. I'm killing people.
What? That sounds about right.
Yeah. Hey, if I start killing the people that are alive, that's less fucking zombies that are gonna be made.
Okay, I'm definitely not gonna visit you in Canada, Jacqueline, when this happens. Because I'm not dying.
I will be the only fucking survivor. I'll tell you that right now.
So you're gonna kill
this question
Jacqueline?
for the zombie apocalypse? I hope not. He probably would. Why don't people go to the north? Like, wouldn't the zombies freeze if they're not wearing like proper clothes?
Exactly. It's honestly,
people don't go to like none of it.
I've been thinking about the zombies since I was young, like really, really young, since the first time I watched Dawn of the Dead, and it was always my first thought: flesh freezes. I'm A-okay where I'm at right now. Come at me, zombies, in January when it's negative 35 Celsius here.
Exactly.
You're not surviving. I don't care. It's the people you got to worry about.
That's my issue, I think, now, and I know we only have a little bit of time left with The Walking Dead. The bodies are not decomposing fast enough.
No.
Like, you have to figure in Georgia and even in New York, right? And this is
in the heat, they'd be
in the heat, they would be crazy done at this point.
Yeah.
But and I've noticed they've gotten faster.
Yep.
As the seasons, it's so like that's why I'm done with The Walking Dead. I've given up on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same here.
I've given up. I'm done with them because it's like the storyline just
Same.
isn't anymore. There was an article that came out that a lot of these zombies would be completely gone within 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that's it. Like, even though they're the Walking Dead, it doesn't stop flesh-eating bacterias and stuff like that from eating their rotten flesh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And a skeleton can't do shit without muscle. So
exactly.
Exactly. So just before we go, let's have a shout out to our comment of the week from Jimmy Agnian. I hope I pronounced your name right. And I hope you're really listening because you said, "Hey, Bitter Knitters podcast, I love your video." It's not really a video, but thank you. "I know this comment is marked as spam, but that's because it contains a link. Please check out this video and approve the comment." The link is to the Cranberries video, Zombie, which is kind of funny since we were talking about zombies.
It's Sister Patty. Hi.
So, I mean, thanks for spamming us, Jimmy. And I mean, I guess it was the best comment we got this week. So,
I think we scared off Eddie.
yay.
And hi, Sister Patty. Jacqueline, don't forget to mention Sister Patty. Hi,
Yes, Sister Patty, thank you for commenting and your support as always. And all the people that listen, you know, we really do appreciate it. And please like and comment and share our videos if you are so inclined. Have a good week, and we'll see you Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Bye.
Monday. Everyone take care.